Doc Erik, welcome to my YouTube neighborhood, the channel where we give you one mindset tip and one body set tip to help you not only improve your life through today's video, but also in future as well. Today we're going to be talking about distractions, what distracts you, and how to get undistracted. So here we go. So the way that I like to think about distractions is they are kind of like these open loops that never seem to close. We kind of get pulled in one direction and then another direction and then another direction, and before you know it, minutes or hours have gone by and you didn't get that task done that you were supposed to get done, right? It kind of sucks. This is also true for things that we sign up for but get distracted by and don't commit to. So think of how many courses you've signed up for or how many YouTube videos that you've linked and said, I'm definitely going to watch that YouTube video. It's going to be super important for my life. And then you forget to watch it, right? It happens to all of us. So distractions become a problem in not only our personal lives, but also our work lives as well, because what they do is they prevent us from getting things done in an efficient manner. And then what ends up happening is we feel stressed because we didn't get that thing done. And now we have to spend extra time to get the stuff done that we were supposed to do, right? So it's kind of a bummer. What it does is it takes you out of doing more fun things that you wanted to do later in the day. So why not try to plan your day in advance to kind of make sure that all those tasks get done so that you can continue to do what you want to do later on in the day. So the action step today that I want you to focus on are these 3 easy tips. Do it, delegate it, or dump it. So the do it task is very straightforward. This is something that you're going to do right away, or you're not going to be able to do it right away. It's a snap decision. The delegation part comes in when, if it's a task that you can either do yourself or not do yourself, you're going to find somebody who's a resource for you to get that job done for you. So let's say, for example, you're at work and you have to mail something out, but you know that you have absolutely no time to go to the post office, but you have a coworker who's going to go take lunch. So you can give that coworker that item that needs to get mailed out, and they're able to do it for you because they're getting lunch right around the corner from where the post office is. So that's another easy example of sharing the load. The third task is the dumping task. So you're going to do it, you're going to delegate it to someone else, or you have to dump the task completely. This might be a task, for example, that you don't have to do right away today and abandon it completely, but it's something that you may want to push later on into the week. So let's say, for example, you had a board meeting or some sort of meeting, whether it's a Zoom call or an in-person meeting, socially distanced, it's a task that you're supposed to do, but all of a sudden something else has come up. So you have to dump that task in favor of the thing that just replaced it, because perhaps there's a modicum of urgency for that particular task. So you dump it and then you replace it and then you put it a little bit later in the day. Why it's important to always look at your life in terms of a do it, a delegate it, or a dump it is it allows you the freedom to be able to be distracted a little bit less, because you're always focused on a particular goal. So this task must be done, this task must be delegated, therefore I have to follow up to make sure it was done, or this task just got dumped and got replaced by something else, but I have to follow up that a little bit later on. So it really leaves you a little time to be distracted by other small things that don't really matter in the moment. What you also want to do too is whatever the task is that you're doing, you always want to be present with the task itself. And just always try to have a game plan whenever you can. You always want to show up and you always want to have something that's task oriented that you can do, and the distractions are minimal. The way that the body learns is through habit, right? Our neurology is our speedway. That's a term that I like to use. What ends up happening is when you are able to focus efficiently on a task, there's less room to be distracted by other small things that don't really matter in the moment. I always say when you're looking at a task, particularly if it's a large task, try to chunk it down into smaller manageable bites. So if it's a big project, take whatever segment that you can do for that particular project and break it down, get that part done, then focus on the next more difficult task, and then the next more difficult task. Often what ends up happening is when we choose a task that's a little bit too big for ourselves, we find excuses to not want to do it right away, and that's where the distraction comes in. So if you have to clean an entire living room and do the laundry and do food preparation, for example, if this is a weekend, that's a lot of stuff, and you're going to find yourself overwhelmed and distracted, and you might pick up your phone and hop on social media, and then there goes a portion of your day. Right? So you want to make these things nice and easy and time efficient. So you could do a little bit of food prep while the laundry is already going on, take a break, go for a little bit of a walk, which is where the exercise component comes in as always, You can then go back and do your vacuuming or whatever the housekeeping cleaning you have to do, change over the laundry, go back to food prep. You know, it's really, really easy when you kind of break it down into these chunks. So it's not an all or nothing. It's not an absolute when it comes to these tasks, but always be kind of focused on what you're doing and you'll find yourself less distracted. Okay, so there you have it. We talked about a mindset tip and a body set tip to help prevent ourselves from being distracted. Always try to incorporate everything all at once. If you can do a little bit of fitness as well as do a little bit of learning as well, your body's going to be set up for success. So don't forget to comment below on tips and tricks that you have found that keeps you from getting distracted. What are some small things that you do to say, I used to be distracted by this, but not anymore because I found this great tip? We'd love to hear about it. And as always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. We'd love to have new visitors to our channel. And as always, stay healthy.